Hey guys, Dr. D with AlphaOmegaWellness.com, where we help you define well. Listen, in today's video, I want to teach you this kind of complex concept about oxidative stress, because you hear that thrown all around, oxidation, antioxidants and stuff, but do you really know what that means? If you have no idea, stay tuned, because I'm going to try to break down this complicated topic into bite-sized pieces so that you know what you're dealing with. All right, listen, let's just get into it today. We talk all the time about antioxidants and why they're important and how we need to consume them and foods that are antioxidants, but what does that even mean? What is oxidative stress? Well, a part of normal processes in the body is the production of something called reactive oxygen species, ROSs. And so, like I said, that's a normal byproduct, so we should make some of them, but then the body has to deal with them well, because these reactive oxygen species are basically negative charged molecules that want to react with other things like DNA, for example. And so left unchecked, if the body does not have the ability to handle whatever level of oxidative stress it's under, then we have more reactive oxygen species than what we can handle. And that's when damage occurs. And so the reason that this is important is because oxidative stress leads to a number of different health issues. So picture this right now. So the mitochondria that produce energy, that produce ATP in our cells, a normal byproduct of them producing that energy is these reactive oxygen species are formed. And so it actually takes energy from the body in order to be able to handle those ROSs and metabolize them so that they're not harmful, right? So they're there, we want to take care of them quickly and get them out of the way. Sometimes because of disease or illness or because of what we're putting in our body, we have extra oxidative stress that our body's exposed to, and we aren't able to necessarily manage that. Normally we should have enough antioxidant capacity in our body to metabolize those quickly so that they really don't do any harm. So when we are under increased oxidative stress, for whatever reason that is, disease state, stuff that we're consuming, intoxicants in the environment, it puts an extra stress load on our body. It puts an extra load on us, and our bodies need to be able to detoxify from that for us to be healthy. So let's talk about some diseases that are a byproduct of having high oxidative stress. The first one is cardiovascular disease. So literally, high levels of oxidative stress cause inflammation, which is what causes plaque to build up in our arteries. You see, we need both bad cholesterol, the LDL. We ideally need it to be small and dense to cause plaque. So literally that's not ideal, right? We want to have big fluffy LDL particles, so they don't do that. But basically, extra LDL cholesterol and inflammation leads to plaque formation. And so part of that inflammation can come from oxidative stress. And so not handling that well, not consuming enough antioxidants can lead to cardiovascular disease. Another place that affects us is our cognitive ability. So literally, a lot of diseases of brain health are caused by inflammation, and that inflammation is fueled by oxidative stress. So think about dementia and how that is a byproduct of having increased oxidative stress and therefore inflammation in the brain over a long period of time. So a third place in which high levels of oxidative stress negatively impacts us is cancer. See, I already talked about these reactive oxygen species and how they're just sitting there, and if they're not metabolized quickly, they can latch on, they can actually impair DNA and affect it. Well, it's that damage to the DNA that can cause the cells to no longer have reasonable times at which they stop dividing and growing. That's exactly what cancer is. So the cell doesn't know, I need to stop dividing and growing because I don't need to grow anymore, right? And so when we do damage to the DNA through oxidative stress or radiation or whatever that is a good setup for cancer. And the last disease state that I'll talk about that can be a byproduct of oxidative stress is diabetes. And so oxidative stress in the body can lead to insulin resistance. I've done lots of videos on here before where I talk about insulin resistance and how our body needing more insulin to handle a standard carbohydrate load is what leads to, or is what is prediabetes and then diabetes. So this is why when I come on here and I talk about ways to decrease oxidative stress, or I talk about antioxidants, either in the form of food or supplements, this is why this is so important. And so it kind of goes back to that idea of like, don't wait until you have symptoms or disease before you start addressing your health. You see, a lot of these things start occurring 10, 15, 20 years before we're ever going to have symptoms. And so I want you to be a well-balanced, healthy person, not just with a long lifespan, but with a long health span. And so that starts now. So if you're out there and you're struggling with your health and you're not sure exactly what's going on, or maybe you just want to make sure that everything is great, come see us. Check out our website, AlphaOmegaWellness.com. We will take an integrative functional approach to your healthcare. We will try to get to the root cause of what's going on with you. And our goal is to change the trajectory of your health and to actually help you to find well. Now, I just like to close with this, that ultimately, I think that there's one healer in the world, and that's Jesus. And so if you don't have a relationship with him, let me just encourage you to just check that out, right? I mean, I'm not forcing it down anyone's throat. It's just radically changed my life. And it's really kind of the foundational principle through which I view everything. And so I just want to encourage you to realize the fact that you are an eternal spiritual being, right? And it was Augustine who said, man's soul will not rest until it rests in God. And so I know my personal experiences and a lot of people that I've dealt with, there's just so much unrest in the world. And I think that if we start addressing that spiritual side of us, life just gets better. I think it impacts our physical health, emotional, mental health as well. So listen, until next time, take care, be healthy. Let us help you find well. God bless you guys.